Good evening. This is Defacto Weekly Review with me, Jargalsaikhan. We will share with you our opinions about 3 events that shaped social, economic, political life of Mongolians from last week. Today's topics are Parliamentarians to boycott the plenary sessions if LRT project is not rediscussed. Second topic, will 4 parliament members' immunity be suspended? The third topic is amendments to the criminal law of Mongolia. First issue is about Ulaanbaatar traffic congestions. The city authority have tried many ways of solving this issue. They have been discussing of a BLT, bus, a light train, or metro, or hanging capsule or cable cars, and now LRT. LRT is a light train transport, light rail transport. They are suggesting to make one road out of 3 possible routes they're going to make in Ulaanbaatar city. So the first one from Yarmak, from Old Airport to the city, through the city of Ulaanbaatar and going through to the northeast, Sansar. This route is the most congested area of Ulaanbaatar city. And if this LRT is constructed, then it will substantially drop the time we spend in our car. Today, delay is 2.5 hours per person per day on this route. In the very interesting statistic, 35 days on this route people spend a year just in your car. It is a matter of costing a lot of fuel, productivity, and this LRT route, just on the first route, will be decreasing all congestions for 25%, according to the city estimation, which is about $50 million per 1 kilometer of this road. This project will create 12,000 jobs. If this project is started now, it will be ended in 2 years by June 2024. It's election year. The metro proposal is refused because it will cost $150 million per kilometer. And plus metro is feasible only for a city which has more than 3 million people. Some parliament member opposes. The argument of Mr. Jargalsaikhan from Labour Party is, why would we finance this project with commercial loan? This one, though 70% of the financing is a loan from China, 5% per year for 15 years loan. How about the Chinese also, insurance company will charge 5% premium fee. And also it will cost $50 million subsidy from the budget every year. And the contractor will be a Chinese company. If we borrow from International Development Institutes this same amount of money, it will cost just 1% a year, and it could extend it for 30 years. That's what his argument is. And plus also, Mongolian debt, government debt to GDP ratio today is 51%. By law, we should not have more than 60%. So we have 9% space for that. It's about $1.2 billion, and you cannot spend that money for just one project. Chairman Jargalsaikhan, who was former Minister of Finance, refused this idea of the government guarantee. He said, the government guarantee is regarded as a government loan, and we don't have a space for any loan further. And also this draft resolution contradicts the fiscal stability law. The resolution will increase Mongolia's debt by $3 billion US. That's why this issue should be not only discussed by 76 parliament members, but by whole country. That's his refusal. And there was a very hot debate after his remark at the Standing Committee meeting. Ulaanbaatar city deputies got mad after this remark, and they said they will boycott the plenary sessions if this issue is rediscussed again, if not rediscussed again. For example, MP Sukhbatar said that main obstacle to Ulaanbaatar's development is certain officials in the Mongolian state. Mr. Sukhbatar was saying to Mr. Jargalsaikhan that don't confuse Mongolian people with this mislead the people. It is not a place to mislead the people, Parliament is. And he was saying that we are not talking about $3.2 billion US. We talk about only the first line, which will cost $926 million US. And out of which only $510 million US a guarantee is required. Another lawmaker, Mr. Inka Maglan, criticizes that Standing Committee on the Budget, chaired by Jargalsaikhan, rejected the draft resolution. And it will affect the interests of Ulaanbaatar residents. On the contrary, lawmaker Jargalsaikhan, when he was Minister of Finance, he was fully allocating budget money to his constituency, which is Ovs provinces. It looks like only Ovs residents have more importance than whole Ulaanbaatar city. That was the remark by Mr. Sukhbatar. If this LRT project is not rediscussed, the Standing Committee if this LRT project is not rediscussed again, then they will not. This group of parliament members will not support the fiscal amendments. In this connection, the mayor of Ulaanbaatar city, Soumya Bazar, said that this project is not pushing the country into debt. It's a big project that benefits residents of Ulaanbaatar. The project will be under public scrutiny from the beginning. We are waiting for Parliament's decisions to start the first large-scale work that has been ready for a half year. You can dislike me, but don't harm the people of the capital. That was our mayor remark on that. After this heated debate, People's Party have decided to form a working group for consideration of this issue and submit new proposal next time. Anyway, these discussions show that budget allocation are really unevenly distributed in the country. And it always became eternal discussions in the parliament when the issue comes about budget allocation. The paradox is Ulaanbaatar population is half of the population, yet they receive about quarter of budget allocations. So that's the heated debate which is going on through several parliament sessions for last 10 or so years. Let's see what will be the final result of this LRT destination, and looks like it will have another more hot discussions, not only in the parliament but also in the public. The second topic we will discuss now is about the immunity of 4 parliament members. A couple of weeks ago, the control organ of the ruling party, People's Party, have asked 9 parliament members to check themselves by IAC, which is an independent agency, independent authority against corruption. Today, as of today, only somehow 4 parliament members are called for taking of their immunity. On Monday, April 25, the Prosecutor General of Mongolia, Mr.Jargalsaikhan, submitted the names of 4 parliament members for misusing money from Development Bank of Mongolia, and that's why he asked give a permission to take off the immunity of these following members: Mr. Parliament Member Ganhoyak, Parliament Member Amartuvshin, Altunghoyak, and Batar Bilig. Because in accordance with the law, Parliament must discuss the prosecutor's proposal within 5 days, which meaning before May 2, they have to discuss, plenary session to discuss. But before that, subcommittee of immunity should decide whether they will take or remove their immunity for these members. And along with it, the standing committee meeting was held. But if they decide that they will take off this immunity, still the issue will be discussed again at the Standing Committee on Legal Affairs. If they suspend their immunity, then through two parliament committees it will go through, then the parliament will discuss. But however, yesterday they have met, the Standing Committee for Immunity have met, but because one member was not there, they could not make any decisions. And Friday, the missing member came and they have discussed the issue and decided not to rip off the immunity for the 4 members. So let's go in details what happened and why these, for which crimes they are accused for. Let's go one by one. Mr. Amartuvshin had given a loan of MNT 33 billion to a company called Vertex Mining Partners in 2020. And this loan is connected with Mr. Ganhoyak, as I have mentioned. The second person, Mr. Altunghoyak, who is, by the way, from the Democratic Party. He was a head of the Democratic Party, and he was a prime minister of the country. And he is accused of misappropriating loans from the Development Bank of Mongolia while in the office as a prime minister. And also, he was abusing his power as prime minister by facilitating loans by the Development Bank of Mongolia to Khutul Cement and the Darkhan Metal Factory. Another parliament member, Batar Bilig, has been accused of accepting a large sum of money in bribes from the same name, Batar Bilig, who was a director of NVT LLC, which received $21 million from the Development Bank of Mongolia. So each member have responded to their accusation. Mr. Altunghoyak said that this accusation are fictional stories made up to him to silence. And also Mr. Batar Bilig said that, yes, I'm a friend with this another Batar Bilig, but he had received that loan without my facilitation, he said. Mr. Ganhoyak, this loan was taken out before I got appointed as a member of parliament. So Mr. Amartuvshin said that he is ready to be checked. And by the way, he had made an appeal to be first parliament member to be checked. But however, as I said, the subcommittee for immunity of parliament members have not approved the idea of taking off their immunity. That's what I was expecting anyway, because there were several similar cases for last maybe 8 years, and the parliament members never are taken off immunity from each other. That was I was expecting. This decision of the subcommittee is not good for a serious fight against corruption by the prime minister of the country. It's happening for the first time when the ruling party denounces a particular parliament members to be checked, and though it is started in that way, but the subcommittee have not decided to take off their immunity. I don't know what will happen with the next step, where the Prime Minister have promised that they will increase, they will fight more seriously on another round of corruptions connected with a coal export of the country. But however, there were several arrests, as I mentioned last week, and hopefully with this immunity is being not taken, the corruption fight of the government will not be ended. The third topic is about amendments to the criminal code of Mongolia. The cabinet have decided last Wednesday that they will propose certain amendments to the criminal code of Mongolia to the parliament. The amendment stipulates tougher penalty sanctions for corruption crimes as abuse of office power. Specifically, there will be no amnesty for the rape of minors, sexual exploitation, human trafficking, and money laundering or corruption. Fines will not be imposed on serious crimes, and corruption crimes will not be resolved with simplified procedures. That was several similar simplified procedures have taken in the country, and several corruption criminals have been very lightly penalized for that. There is one statute of limitations for corruption crimes. This provision gave a lot of chance for many criminals to either not having any penalty or very symbolic penalty. And this statute of limitation, or that after crime, certain period of time they will investigate, and after a certain period have passed, they will not consider or reconsider that crimes again. The files will not be opened again. But now this statute of limitations for corruption crimes will be at least 5 years. And the criminal will be subject to a 20-year ban on public services. The draft bill provides also the extension of statute of limitations for officials with immunity, and the abolition of simplified procedures for corruption and official misconduct. Cabinet believes that with the adoption of this bill, Mongolia will become consistent with international treaties and conventions to which it is a part, strengthening the state policy on reducing corruption crimes, and further intensify the principles of the inevitability of criminal liability and justice. These are 3 topics we wanted to share with you today, and thank you very much for watching, and see you next week.